Peace. Happy now. Now is the vibe rate. The rate at which we're vibing, man. We're not going too far in the future. We're not going too far in the past. Right now. Matter of fact, when I said we vibing, man, in my head instantly said we vibing, man, and whoa, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's always man, man, man. Our expressions then turn into full masculine things because of, how can I say, the suppressing of the female energy, you know what I'm saying? That divine feminine energy that's coming up right now. The end of the world for this masculine dominance. But excuse me. Anyway, I want to speak on anger and how breathing helps to suppress it on a scientific level, and how when we have anger built in, how it tries to release itself if you're not doing the proper things to release it, and that's with anything. I tell people, whenever you keep emotions bottled up, you know what I'm saying, it's gonna find some kind of way to release itself through some type of form or fashion. So you want to be careful with holding in energy, because you may release it on the wrong person at the wrong time. You know what I'm saying? And matter of fact, I've been dealing with this book. It's a pretty good book which has me on this subject: body mind balancing. You know, using your mind to heal your body, and about a person named Osho. I don't know if it's female or male, but it's a Zen teacher or master, however you want to say it. And this book is great at realizing how the body and the mind and the soul like all coexist, but how you want to balance it. If I haven't made a video about it yet, I spoke on how the numbers 333. If you're getting that message from your spirit guides, it's about tightening up on your balance of the mind, body, and soul. Mind, body, and soul, the Trinity, 333. So, with all of that, it's all about the balance. Too much of water and sunlight and not enough of water and sunlight could be a hectic situation, but the right amount together creates an equilibrium and a balance, which is what we're dealing with our own as above, so below. We're trying to create that same equilibrium within our being so we can have that balance and function right. But dealing with the anger and release of anger, how anger releases itself from two avenues within your body. In most cases, mainly it's through your mouth or the jaw, teeth area, so this area right here, or through the fingers, which in the book it specifically say fingers, hand, nails, like, but I'ma say the whole hands, because again, the hands, on another note, are the extension of the heart. And if you got some type of anger within your heart, then some people like to, you look at my motion, like to release their anger, that's within their heart, with the extensions of their hearts, but just balled up. You know what I'm saying? And that's where, so one of those extensions of release. So if, for one, and this has a little bit to do with depression also, as far as like biting of the nails and scratching, because I have to catch myself where I see my nails. If I see I be picking at them, I'm like, oh, what are you depressed about, or what underlying situation has your ego worried, or what your ego is tripping, like it's something dealing with some type of nervousness. Well, you could say nervousness, but dealing with some type of anger or something that just has you, you could say anxious in essence, but kind of like worried. So kind of like borderline worried, depressed, anxious, all in that little area. So, you find yourself biting on your fingernails. Matter of fact, picture biting your fingernails is a combination of both things. So you can see it in full circle. Like I said, it expresses itself through the teeth and the mouth area and through the hands. So the fact that you biting your hands, you releasing it double time because like, you know what I'm saying? So that's one of the things. So if you catch yourself, biting, scratching, you know what I'm saying? Another thing too is excessive talking and eating. Cause again, this trapped energy, this trapped anger is trying to find some way to release itself. And when I'm doing this, I take energy. And so that's another way that anger comes out is through a lot of talking, man, this what happened to me. How many stories you came across with people like in that mode of, man, this messed up, bro, this situation, oh man, my kids, this and that, whatever it is that's angering them, you know what I'm saying? It comes out, sometimes expressed in words. And then two, because the hand movements, again, hand movement doesn't mean, anger. This is extension of our heart, and it extends itself depending on that polarization of, are you extending it with love, or are you extending it, in anger? You know what I'm saying? When you're extending it in love, that's how I extend it. When I'm talking, shaking hands, hugging, that's using the extension for the love. And then you got the anger, which could turn into balled up fists or, scratching or tearing. But that's more like scratching, biting, that stuff is more of a true animalistic, way of doing it. But you never know. Behind closed doors, no telling what people, like eat on paper and scratch on things or whatever, People got, we all have our own little unique vibrations and weird little things that we may do. So you may have some people that's actually biting on just any objects and scratching on things. But for sure, is that anger just trying to be released through the mouth area or through the hands. So, just be aware of that as far as too when you see yourself, again, biting on your fingernails or scratching at them, you know what I'm saying? Uh, in the book, they talk about your hands being, like almost like callous and bulky. But me personally, I can't relate to that experience as far as like, from my own experience, what I see and what I've done myself, uh, with what they explain, I can't really relate. But with the fingernails and biting or like I scratch at like little like if I got loose skin, like scratching at it. Matter of fact, which I remember I used to like to pick at my scabs, which that's something I felt like, whether it was a weird thing or, sometimes it was, cause too, I see situations like that too as a situation where you're trying to control something. Cause it's like, here it is, you feel like you don't have control of all these other outside things, but I could control whether the scab stays on my skin. You know what I'm saying? It's funny, like it sounds crazy, but I see the correlation and you trying to find some way, like, all right, things ain't going right in life, this and that, or seems like I'm not controlling things in my life. So let me partake in a hobby where I have more control. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's putting my hands on somebody or playing San Andreas and going shoot up people, whatever the case may be, you know. And with all this being said, and it's something I had to learn, in which I wasn't pushed to learn it in a hard manner. It just came to me through a lot of information, but it's okay to be in your feelings, to be fully in your emotions. So say for instance, it's okay to get angry. Like I know a lot of people, when I tell them the stay positive thing, I always like, but I'm not going to, say it in that cliche manner, because I know that as beings, we're going to express ourselves. So I always tell people, express, what you feeling strongly, express it, you know what I'm saying? But just try to, keep constantly shining light on the situation and stay as positive as possible. But you're gonna go through things and situations that's gonna make you go through your feelings. But that's what truly being your soul is being, you know what I'm saying? So it's all right. Like, say, for instance, think about it. What's a good example to see if you're being righteous spiritually? Look at the way a kid acts before they're taught to be something. How a kid, if he can't get the triangle in the the triangle shape in the circle hole, he kind of get a little frustrated, you know what I'm saying? But it's not, nothing that's evil or undivine. That's all in divine nature. Just purely being, like, couldn't get that, like, you know what I'm saying? That's just pure. Because think about pure being in the wrath of source, you know what I'm saying? Like with these hurricanes and things that are happening, you know what I'm saying? That's just pure being. That's not no necessary evil. That's not the earth or Mother Nature being evil. That's just Mother Nature being. Or that's just a little kid getting frustrated. That's just a little kid being. Or you feeling some kind of way because somebody passed away. That's you being. Because, of course, we all developing and getting back that understanding of that there is no death and that it's a transition. But, because we've been coached to believe in the death situation, of course, like when somebody may pass away or transition, at first it's gonna hit you, your feelings, and and it's all right to express that, you know what I'm saying? It's just moving towards, that better place or that better understanding of knowing, all right, I express myself, but all right, I do know that this person is, still living or being, you know what I'm saying? It's just not in the physical, or like if you're angry at something, well, I know that anger me, but the bigger picture is I'm one with everything, and I'm, just finding yourself, regrouping yourself, you know what I'm saying? But it's all right to express whatever feeling or whatever it is. Because again, with consciousness and all that, you get caught up in the thinking like, you have to be like this every day. And we have to smile and talk about chakras in this manner. And no matter what, always keep a smile and the sun is always shining. You know what I'm saying? It's like, nah, part of God is that sometimes the sun don't always shine. Sometimes the moon come out and it get dark. Sometimes Saturn is ruling, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes Jupiter, you know what I'm saying? But whatever the case may be, things are not always, you know, uh, peachy and supposed to be expressed in that manner. Because again, I always talk about how some divine beings are dark as well, and they just don't crack smiles for any reason. That's just their true being. You know what I'm saying? You can't force them to like rainbows and hugs and sunshine because they just deal with the darkness. They rather wear black, chill in the graveyard, talk to Gate A and Balance Sign. You know what I'm saying? Like we all different. Some of us want to connect more with Archangel Michael and Lakshmi and more of the light beings. Some of us want to chill with Gate A, Mama Brigitte, and Balance Sign Day, in the darker light, and not darker or lighter of skin complexion or none of that, which y'all should know that. Darker light of just the polarities of the universe, you know what I'm saying? And both exist and both are divine in nature. It's just different polarities, you know. So, and which I I kind of forgot where that tangent was going, but I think I just, I think I was just finishing off with what I just said. But back to the full circle of what we're talking about, expressing anger, and that's where I kind of went with it, where where it's okay to express anger, but I was just explaining where you may see anger being expressed, and so my point is to pay attention to anger that's being suppressed. So when you find yourself over talking, because say for instance, even with being conscious and you know meditating, this all takes work, and sometimes within your day you picking up on these other vibrations, you could kind of get pick up unconsciously on somebody else's depression or somebody else's anger, especially being a psychic empath. That's why we make sure we rinse it, cleansing ourselves for sure. If we're staying conscious of it, we're making sure we clean ourselves a lot because we're aware of all the stuff we're picking up on. So This is just to help you to realize, whether you got some little closet anger, depression, or nervousness going on. Those are ways that it expresses itself is through the jaws, teeth, and fingers or hands, and that's mostly speaking to anger. And then now on the breathing technique, it's nothing crucial. It's just deep breathing, because it's two levels to why deep breathing scientifically stops anger. One is anger takes a certain rhythm, of breathing and heart pattern. If you ever notice when you're angry, nervous, and it's like your breath a certain way, your heart palpitations may be a little different, you know what I'm saying? Not your heartbeat, may be fluttering or just be different. But when you're calm, it's like a certain little, and say for instance, when you're breathing, you're taking those deep breaths, feeling everything all the way up, and then releasing everything out, slowing down, letting the body, the muscles relax. By doing that, anger cannot even exist because it takes a certain breathing pattern and a certain heart pattern, you know what I'm saying? Or like a vibration from the heart or a certain breathing pattern. But when you eliminate that by your deep breathing, then that don't allow, that basically prevents that anger from rising, because it can't manufacture itself, because it doesn't have any fuel to its fire, so to speak. You know what I'm saying? Like, because you're breathing slowly, it's almost like the situation where two vibrations can't occupy two polarizing vibrations can't occupy at the same time, in essence. As a matter of fact, when they do, you feel them torn apart, but they can't occupy at the same time. So when you're breathing like that, it's, that anger cannot arise, and vice versa. If you allowing the anger breath or the anger vibration to control you, then you're not even going to take the time to consciously be aware to breathe deep, because you're caught up in the vibration of the anger. So that's one way, with the breathing deep, it's just the rhythm. Scientifically, the rhythm of deep breathing disallows anger. I'm sorry, a little piece of my beard. It's the only thing we're dealing with, this beard. Wee, But anyway, and then the second way of the deep breathing helps to stop anger is that deep breathing also shifts your consciousness, and in the manner of shifting your consciousness to to not paying attention to whatever it is that angered you, or whatever, or the anger itself. It would shift your consciousness away from the anger or whatever angered you to your actual breath, and to that serenity of that slow moving breathing. So as you, matter of fact, all I was just paying attention to was the noise of me breathing in. That that's another thing, like the noise of breathing taking you in, and the actual action of it. And just look at it the way I talking to y'all, I have to stop to breathe, you know what I'm saying? So I have to be, fully present in my breath. That means nothing else exists when I'm, only thing that's going on right now is me breathing in front of my phone, talking to y'all. And breathing, and you get caught up in just focusing on that breath. So whenever you find yourself in a situation where yourself, like you can see it ahead of time that, an angry vibration may be coming up within you, then, start your breathing. Start breathing. Just take your time breathing. I do in the nose. I do yogic breath all the time, so I'm in the nose, out the nose all the time. But you can in the nose, out the mouth. However, once I find out about a yogic breath and deep breathing on that manner, I stop really breathing through my mouth. In essence, like I only breathe through my mouth whenever my mouth with an F I only breathe through my mouth whenever I'm told to, in the essence of, like, say for instance, I've been in took a few yoga classes before, and they'll tell you, all right, now release the breath through your mouth or inhale through your mouth. So in whatever exercise that may be asking for it, all right, cool. But for the most part during my day, I'm always and bringing that air down under the chest to the diaphragm, bringing that stomach out, and then breathing outwards, and then bringing the stomach in. But again, these different breaths will help to just different breaths. This deep breathing will help to suppress your anger. And again, by stopping the rhythm of breathing that deals with anger, and by you breathing and paying attention and focusing on your breathing, that doesn't allow you to focus on your anger or whatever was provoking you to become angry. So but that's about it. Feels good to be back. But just ways of staying conscious, because we all deal with it. That's one thing. And two, I realize on my growth to never be like on this pedestal to think you're ever too good to continue to learn, to continue to go through lessons that you would think, like, because sometimes we got in our head that like a guru or somebody that's a higher teacher would never have to go through, like once they get to a certain point, they're not going to still learn lessons on a level like they're a student. But that is incorrect. Like, everyone is constantly learning. If a guru wasn't constantly learning, it would be God. That person would be back with source itself, or it would be moving, you know what I'm saying? Like, so all beings, even a God that's over a whole galaxy, is in a learning process. Cause it has to learn more information to learn about how to govern, say, 5 galaxies at once. You know what I'm saying? If that may be the case, you know what I'm saying? So it's always a learning process, and don't never get too high on your horse of thinking like, oh, I'm done. Oh yeah, I know it all, or staying on one subject matter. Like, always stay fluid with your information. Be prepared for information to change on you. Today, and I'm joking, but like seriously, like today, melanin, let's say for melanin is this and that, and tomorrow we find out that it's really chlorophyll in our blood that really does this, or it's another chemical that we just found out, like whatever it is, you know what I'm saying? You just got to be nimble with gaining your information. That's what source is. That's what God is. God is not, like staying on this physical standpoint. God is fluent. God is everything. So, just keep that in mind. But peace. Happy now. Now is the vibrate, of course. We're not going too far in the future. We're not going too far in the past. Right? Peace.